Hey guys, what's going on? Back once again. I know I've been kind of lacking in the audio department for a little bit, giving you guys some audio commentaries, but hopefully I should be able to get a little more in. Been kind of occupied with school, and usually if it was for an audio, it was for WCR, so hopefully I'm going to try to balance it out a little bit more. But I'll go into more detail later on. But for now, let's get a pause at the 15-second mark at the 1x speed. This is a match against Anyypi.WeRRa. I think he fought in a few of those leagues on GameNet and whatnot, so pretty interesting match for you guys to check out. I later on figured out that it was the real guy. I was kind of skeptical when I was playing this one if he was the real guy or not, because there are quite a few fakes. Let's get this on pause in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, unpause. Okay, Night Elf on Night Elf. I no longer go Warden on certain maps. Usually if it's a bigger map, then I would try to get Warden because it's less of a bunch of harassment and stuff. And normally right now in Night Elf Mirror, if I'm not going to be teching up right away, I'm going to get a Priestess of the Moon. That is to support Huntresses, Archers, and Dryads. And the bear build is pretty risky to do. I mean, I just finished a match where somebody was pretty good at doing this bear build, and I even did some mistakes in my play, and I still managed to get him with the bear build. So I don't know. One way to get somebody when you're bear building, is just place an Ancient of War or two in his base just to keep them occupied. I don't know. I gotta try it out and see if it works. I know it's worked against me before and it's pissed me off pretty badly. So, yeah. Anyways, getting my Priestess of the Moon. Priestess of the Moon, POTM. And right now the Beastmaster is going to be picked up by Anyypi.WeRRa. I don't really consider him that much of abuse anymore, seeing that a lot of people have just built strategies around it, and seeing that he's gone away after patch 1.12, you know. So, plus Quill Beasts are the new replacement for bears. So, I was figuring if I saw the Beastmaster, I would go for some Dryads, and if not, if I saw anything else, I would probably go for something on the boundaries of Druid of the Talon. But I wouldn't get Druid of the Talon if I saw like a bunch of Dryads on his side. So whether or not to get Ancient of Lore or Ancient of Wind, it all really depends. It all just depends on what I see in his army. So it kind of splits off in two roads from there after I see what he's getting. But just for now, I'm just going to start to tear down some of his wisps. I didn't see those two Ancients of War when he made his base. So I was just under the assumption that, hey, he might try a bear build, and, well, if he's right next to me, now's the perfect opportunity to kill some wisps. And that is definitely a thing you want to do. If they're bear building, just rip up every single wisp that they got. But Anyypi.WeRRa is smart. He knows how to cope with this. He just cycles them in and out of his gold mine. Hopefully I can try to get a wisp, but nah, he knows what he's doing, so he keeps those safely in his mine, and my Priestess of the Moon is out of there. But once my Priestess of the Moon is just healed up a little bit, I'm going to go right back towards Anyypi, because I knew right then, because I just saw him bring that bear out, and I knew he wouldn't bring that bear out just for the Priestess of the Moon, seeing that the Beastmaster can take on the POTM first thing. So I knew he had some creeping on his mind. So I'm going to go right back to where he's going. So I see he's creeping. I see the bear is very weak. Free experience. A nice chunk of experience, actually. 42 experience, not bad. I pick up his Cloak of Shadows. Not really relevant to what my Priestess of the Moon has, but still, it's an item. It's 50 gold. Pretty good. I see a wisp, and I see a perfect opportunity to nail that thing. Can't really escape. So I managed to get the wisp. Hooray. I finally killed one. So, satisfied with that, I'm going to run out of the way. Obviously, he has more units than me. He's got Moonwells, so I'll just kind of step back for a little bit. And in doing so, right now is a pretty good opportunity to get those sea turtles that are on the outside of my base. I got a pretty good enough army to get rid of them. So I'm going to just do that right now. The reason why I don't run right back towards Anyypi, because he might be under the assumption that I might come right back towards him, that I might keep the same pattern. So after these creeps, then I'm gonna go. Because I saw with my wisp that was over there, if you can see right now, if you have the fog of war off, you can see that red dot just go right across the screen. Saw that, I was like, alright, I'm going for it. I bring my wisp over there, hopefully to get it detonate off. Hopefully I can kill a bear, get some experience. I do so. Gets me some experience. I get some searing arrows. Searing arrows are nice. But it's too late for me to creep jack him right now. The best I can do is get him stuck in a very, very good position to nail him in. But I really wasn't looking too good right now, and I could have gotten a nasty surround on this guy. I could maybe killed off a few of his units. But I didn't. But a very small choke point right there that you see, just put everything you got into trying to pull the surround off. Because I think when I did that, I selected the hotkey for one of my buildings and made one of my huntresses or something like that. But right now I'm just going to stay even with huntresses at the moment. I get my circlet of mobility and boots of speed just in time for a battle. So, I engage his army. I see both armies are kind of being dragged by one of the weaker units trying to run out of the way, so I hide that one huntress. And we all just work on one huntress at a time, making sure we don't screw up in micro, although I do believe that right now, he's microing this out a little better than I am. But the reason why I'm not worried about that Beastmaster trying to get a dust of appearance is simply because if he does try to do that, his Beastmaster, his whole army will kind of shift its position. It'll go away from my huntresses that are hidden, and I just run away from after that. So I don't really have to worry about that. I start focusing fire on his Beastmaster as much as I can. My hidden huntress kind of blocks this guy too. So I get him before he manages to portal out of the way. That archer is my next target. Next comes that Quill Beast. Why? Easy experience. He's kind of weak as well. Alright, so I'm on the run right now. At least those two huntresses are, and right now all of his huntresses are chasing after those two, so yeah, I'm gonna have to let him go. I'm gonna try to chase him for a little bit inside of his base, but then then he comes back. If you look at his base, he's got enough to get me. I do bring that priestess because she does have boots of speed and she can try to nail some units. But I saw his whole army. I was like, oh, holy crap! So I run out of the way. So all I saw in his army were huntresses. I did see a few archers, so I'm still not really going to worry about those archers too much. I'm going to get those glaive throwers so I can do a little more damage. After all, right now I have a level 1 weapon upgrade, basically. That's the best part about the Priestess of the Moon. Now I pretty much have a level 2 weapon upgrade. How about that? Level 2 weapon upgrade on Tier 1. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, so I go for creeping. I don't bring my my glaive throwers because I knew that they would just stick out like a sore thumb, and if I got creep jacked, those would be gone. So I just keep those back in my base. And if he does attack my base, then I have some additional defense in my base. It's like having an ancient protector in there. So killing two birds with one stone on that, protecting it and also keep giving it a defensive aspect. So he sends that wisp into my base, and right then and there, I'm thinking, alright, he just sent this wisp. He's trying to gauge what I have. So I might expect to have an attack soon. So I'm not going to go way across the map to get some big creeps down. So I decide to run to Anyypi's base, hoping that he might be creeping somewhere, but which he is. So I take down that Ancient of War as fast as possible. Just kind of have his production. He does have a Tree of Life right now, so he's not teching up to the Tier 2, so I'm not really going to worry too much about his wisps. But I take out archers that are in the front line. But right now, those archers are safely protected. If I can't run back there and try to get them. I'm trying to get my guys out of the way. See, I try to run my guys over there to get those archers. That cost me like 3 huntresses. But I managed to get a few archers because he does run them to try to counteract what I was aiming for. But I do put a sentry ward in his base. And I'm getting prepared to do a town portal, so I bring my glaive throwers up towards my Priestess of the Moon. He's going to put all of his micro and his attention towards those glaive throwers. So right now, I have my Priestess of the Moon putting her attention towards those archers. So I portal out of the way. Once I managed to kill about 2 archers. But right now I'm at the disadvantage. Although he is producing half as much right now, and I can produce double. It's still, I don't know. I'm starting to get my Ancient of Lore right now. I'm not going to keep as many huntresses as possible. If I stick with a bunch of hunts, which everyone kind of expects me to do, it'll ruin me. Because right now he's just whipping up all these counters. I mean, when I was killing that Ancient of War, he was getting a glaive thrower. So huntresses really won't do such a great thing at the moment. I transfer my Boots of Speed towards my Naga Sea Witch so she can kind of chase and freeze the unit a little bit faster. And just these 2 heroes are just like man, they're just picking off units left and right here. And they work so perfect. Check this out. Pick up his Manual of Health. Haha. But make sure I'm running out of the way. When I see that he's trying to move out of the direction, I, come back, snipe one of his units. I just repeat the process, constantly dealing a tiny chunk of damage, time after time, hoping that he'll kind of, try to stick with me and try to deal some damage to my Naga or my Priestess of the Moon. But he sees my pattern. He's going to run to his base where he's a little more protected. So I'm making sure that I have about 5 huntresses, just something to hold the front. Nothing huge and overwhelming. But right now I'm starting to get the Dryads. So I'm starting to get my Force Group 2 at the moment, which is going to be the Naga Sea Witch, Archers, and Dryads. And with that, right now, my army's still kind of small. I know that he knows how to micro, so I don't really want to risk it too much in fighting a huge battle right now. But I'm going to risk it. I thought this was the moment where I go and try to get those, whatchamacallits, the gargantuan sea turtles, kind of at the bottom part of the map there. Or was that that was in a different replay, I'm sorry. I get those moonwells right now. They're kind of sticking out there. Anyypi.WeRRa, he's at 47 out of 50, so if I get a lot of moonwells destroyed, he'll be down in production, and if I can, chop away a lot of his army, I can really come out good. Won't be able to produce as much. So, those archers sticking out right there. Whatever is just, out there that shouldn't be there, such as archers in the front right there. Those are excellent targets. Just nail them. See, right now his archers can't do crap. They're stuck. So is my Naga, so I'm going to run her kind of out of the way there. So one glaive thrower keeps its damage right on Anyypi. That Beastmaster is a freaking beast. Pun intended. Holy crap. He is not going down. He's pretty strong. He gets an illusion to try to fool me around. Great way to fool a player when you use a Wand of Illusion is to it's obviously to act like it's your real hero, because he'll be thinking, hey, that's his real hero. But don't really put all of your micro into it. What you do, just select that illusion, right click on a location you want him to move to, and just hold down shift and just click random locations and commands for him to do. He'll see he'll see that illusion running around. He'll think that that's the real one, and as you're putting all your resources into as he's putting it all into killing your illusion, you'll be free to kill off everything. Wow, looks like both of us forgot those pair of items, the Claws of Attack +9 and the Tome of Strength. Just watching this replay, I just noticed that. I was focusing a little too much into my base. Foolish mistake on both ends right here. Guess he tried to nab those items before he tried to town portal. I really wasn't looking too much on what he was doing. But he does have his Tree of Ages at the moment. Right now, the Moonwell destruction serving its cause. He's not really making too many units, although he did get his second hero right now. Yeah, he wasn't even looking at his guys. Check it out. He left his Tome of Strength and Claws of Attack. +9 for that matter. My Priestess of the Moon would love that. Holy crap. Should have like +20 damage right now. Actually plus 40 damage. +40 damage on the Priestess of the Moon at the moment. That's pretty nice. 46 out of 40 is what Anyypi.WeRRa's got for his food count. That's good. I noticed from that sentry ward that he's coming, so I don't get my guy. Try to get my guys out of a position where they'll be screwed. But here's where he could have gotten my Priestess of the Moon right there. Very, very close. I do lose a glaive thrower right now. It's a sucky loss, but hell, it could have been worse. So I get Abolish Magic so I can control those bears right now. If you see, I just gave the command to dispel one of them. And that's the problem with autocast. You start autocast dispelling those Scroll of Protection, which is pretty much crap. And right now, those Dryads need that mana. And so I already wasted it. But I did manage to rip a few dispels going off on that. My Naga's rather weak, so I just select her at the Moonwells to heal up. Very closely knit battle right here. I'm not really too comfortable at the moment. But I'm just trying to kill whatever is red. I bring my Wisp to detonate his heroes, hopefully to get something on him. So I try to kill that Beastmaster. If I kept it with the Naga, I would have traded the Naga for his Beastmaster, which I think would be a pretty good trade. A level 2 for a level 5. Yeah, the Naga would have died. I might have been able to heal it at that Moonwell, but if I would have kept firing at that Beastmaster, the Cold Arrow duration would have lasted long enough for me to kill that Beastmaster, but I really wasn't focused on that at the moment. I think I was looking at some of my weaker units, but I managed to pick an Archer off. How about that? Level 5, I got True Shot Aura. +6 damage for the Huntresses. That's pretty nice. So you're not really going to be seeing any bears, mountain giants, or anything to this. I just pretty much revolve it around that Priestess of the Moon. Obviously. But right now I'm in no position to get any big creeps off. So I'm going to try to go for some mid-level creeps, so there's not many of them left. I know that Anyypi.WeRRa is not going to be doing anything. Why? Because I can see what he's doing. I got a sentry ward in this guy's base. So, yeah. Two very good positions that I got that in. I can see if he's attacking my base. I can see if he's still staying in his base. So I can creep, with some confidence. I see that he's moving right now, so I'm thinking, oh crap, I'm just gonna get these creeps done very quickly. At the moment I was thinking, oh, this guy just saw me. I know he's thinking that I'm running to get some creeps. I might get the, hell creep jacked out of me. But I select my archers that are rallied to my Priestess of the Moon. I move them out of the way because I don't want them to be rally jacked right in the middle of them trying to move. Because right now, Mr. Anyypi.WeRRa here, he's on a mission. He's gonna get me. Yeah, he seems ready to go. But I killed that Wisp, so right now he knows where I am. So I select my my units to get in Force Group 2, and I'm going to try to, clamp them off in this position. See, right now he can't go up, can't go down. He can kind of go to the side, though, but I'm going to try to keep him stuck right here. My Dryads, they dispel his summons as soon as they can, which they should be doing a little bit more. But yeah, he focused everything onto the Dryads. Managed to kill at least a few with that, at least. I get his Beastmaster. He's level 6 right now with the Beastmaster, but with his health so low, I'm just begging for him to cast his ultimate. Before he can run away or portal, I did not know if he had a portal or not. I rip a, Forked Lightning on the guy. Level 4 Naga Sea Witch. So I think that's the moment when I get level 2 Cold Arrows. So I only select one of my units to kill that archer. Actually, I accidentally selected two. I think I flicked the mouse too much. But when there's a unit that's in the red that's focusing fire as your army's running, only select one of your units and run them out of the way. I use my illusion Priestess of the Moon to surround that, or at least clog up the Naga Sea Witch's path. So, he's broken English right there, but hey, Koreans on the US server, they're not really expected to speak English. But he was very good-mannered about it, which is cool. That's why I like playing against a lot of the Korean players. They're very, very well-mannered. So, looking at the score, pretty close with the score here. 69k for me, 67k for Anyypi.WeRRa. I think the APM for this one, he had 130, I had 129 or something like that. Something pretty close. Anything that could have changed to make this a more dramatic one. If he would have gotten tier 2 buildings, I attacked at times that if he would have gotten tier 2, that he would be building, so I always attack him at a time that, he would have some tier 2 building. But, if he would build tier 2, he could have just, constructed it back a ways, close to his gold mine, and, I could have, he could have safely got that guy back there. He was too engrossed in those attacks that I was getting, so he was really, hesitant to get his tier 2 going on. So, if he would have gotten tier 2, I would assume that if he would have seen my Dryads, he wouldn't worry about Druids as a talent for the fact that they can be dispelled. So he would get Dryads as well. If I would have seen the Dryads on his army, I would have just gotten like 1 or 2 more Glaive Throwers, so I can work on his Huntresses and Dryads a little bit more. So, anyways, guys. Thanks for listening in, and I'll see you all later.